I was supposed to go ahead and do like a video, the upload is doing a follow-up on with Dez Bryant on his recent, as Ticket would call it, buck dancing of comments when it comes down to race and race relations in America. But I'm gonna just go ahead and put that's still up, but I'm gonna still put that up maybe later on tonight. But one thing that did come across on my news feed is particularly this clown here. This is John Ridley, man known for directing the movie 12 Years a Slave. And I'm gonna tell you something, I never even watched that shit, to be honest with you, and all that, because I called it deplorable. It was based on fact and based on truth, but at the same time I didn't even bother watching it. Well, it just so happens that thanks to 1LVZ, I just got through looking at his video on this, and I didn't get a chance to look at Taurine Reigns, that he came out with a TV series that's supposed to come out on the 16th, which is Sunday, called Gorilla. It's a miniseries documentary based about the Black Panther Party in Europe. I mean, is it Europe or Britain? One of the two. I think in Britain, Great Britain. Yeah, I'm sorry. In Great Britain. Well, one thing I did understand that, you know, he included, or should I say excluded, black women out of it, and then tried to include Asian people into it, that they were our allies. When if you know your history like I do, and you do your research like I do, you would know that some of those Asians, like particularly the one who got the guns from, were basically agents. But he's not talking about that, you know. But let me just go ahead. I'm gonna just get into the story right here, and coming straight from CBS News like this, because, like, you know, my coon hunter senses were tingling this morning when I came across this morning. Or just, you know, I came across this. So let's just get right into it. John Ridley said he expected his quote-unquote politically sharp TV miniseries Gorilla about England's 1970s Black Power movement to be provocative. But criticism that the drama excluded the role played by black female activists took him by surprise at a screening in London, he said Monday. Now, he pointed to his track record of writing for black actresses in projects including TV's America's Crime, which earned Regina King 2 Emmys, and 12 Years a Slave, for which Lupita Nyong'o, sorry if I mess her name up, I apologize, won an Oscar. Given that, he said it was odd to hear that people quote, feel as I thought I'm not putting enough women of color in spaces. So I would say very sincerely to anybody, if they find fault with what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, you don't need to wait for me to tell your stories. You don't need anybody's permission to go out and tell the story you want to tell. Now, at last week's screening, Ridley was questioned by some audience members about the project's approach. Now, Gorilla's debut April 16 on Showtime stars Indian actress Frida Pinto and black British actor Babu Kisei as an activist couple. One questioner said the writers were responsible for the erasure of black women from the story. Now, Ridley grew emotional while trying to explain his decision to the audience at one point, invoking his own interracial marriage. Yes, this cat here, this duck sauce ass dude. Yeah, he's married to an Asian woman. You know, I'll show y'all that in a minute. Now, I put this link in the description box because, you know, I could play the video, but then again, y'all won't be able to hear the audio and stuff like that. You know. But Ridley spoke calmly and carefully as he addressed the issue from the distance of several days. The reaction to Pinto's, Joss, and Cissie's Marcus is actually part of a story we're telling. It's as old as Romeo and Juliet. Oh boy. West Side Story. Nobody can see their love the way they do. The African-American writer, director, and producer stands by the authenticity of Gorilla, which said involved a learning tour to meet participants and observers of the British civil rights struggle. Because a lot of these stories have not been told, it may frustrate those who want a single project to make up the lost ground, said Ridley, who won an Oscar in 2014 for his adapted screenplay of 12 Years a Slave. Oh, they're going to keep on throwing that in there. Shoot. I'm all for people looking at anybody's story and saying, hey, that's only part of the picture. I want to go out and tell more and do more and say more. Well, I'm just curious about something. I just want to see the comments. Because the comments have always... And as usual, you know, you got one idiot that's here that said something real stupid. I thought it was about British gorillas. And I'm still not convinced that they're found in that part of the world. They should just hire a makeup team that did the Planet of the Apes movie. That was convincing regardless of the nationality or skin tone of the actors, probably. Yeah, a typical white cracker troll, you know. Yeah, and you could tell it's a Peckerwood, Lee Manus and stuff. Idiots. You know. So I like to read the comments on these things and stuff like that, because you know you always gonna have the little hate trolls that like to come in here and do stuff like this. But you know, I digress. But John Ridley, what he doing, and I totally agree with one LVZ and as well as my good friend Irv Griffin. This nigga is a coon. Straight coon. You know, to exclude black women out and then and include a person of other nationality. Now, for a disclaimer, let's get one thing straight. This is nothing against Asian people or the yellow people as a collective. But let's just keep it real. Look what's been going on for the past several months and the past few years of when it come down to the Asians who want to get their collective honorary white card and in their treatment of blacks. Have y'all forgotten about what happened to the young sister in the Korean store in LA back in the 90s? Latasha, I forgot her name, I'm sorry. Or better yet, to bring more up to date about Peter Lai Ang, of how he murdered Akai Gurley, you know, and the coon Ken Thompson helped him get off, and that's why that motherfucker is sleeping with maggots now. And good riddance to that buck dancing bastard for letting that man go off. Get off like that. But see, this is one of the reasons why. See, he tried to write himself into this thing because of his relationship, because he married to an Asian woman. But, you know, coons like this are just basically subliminally self-hating motherfuckers anyway. John Ridley, you know, oh boy, look here. I ain't really got no more words to say about cats like this. You know, because like look at another story like with a lot of the Asians that work in the San Francisco Police Department, how they were sending racist text messages about being doing with the blacks, or better yet, about the other Asian reporter at the NBA game when he was interviewing Draymond Green and tried to clown Draymond, but shout out to Draymond Green if you listening to this, my brother. Draymond put his ass in his place. Put him in his place. Or better yet, the big thing everybody's talking about right now regarding United Airlines with the so-called Dr. Dow. Oh, by the way, fellas, guys, if y'all heard this late, and I posted this up on my Facebook page, now they got a hashtag out called Chinese Lives Matter regarding Dow. Tell me about it. But I'm going to touch on that one another time. But John Ridley, he's trying to rewrite history by trying to erase us out as his benefit because he's married to her. I'm just at a loss for words right now. I really am. You know, this is Coonan 3.0 at a much higher level. Now, for the record, let me get one thing straight. You know, I had no problem with no interracial marriages or interracial relationships. You know, that's you. You know, that's you. But me personally, you know, my preference of women has and always will be black women. You know, and then it's nothing against Asian women whatsoever. I don't care if you're Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Taiwanese, you know, or Japanese, anywhere. I ain't got no problem with that. But given the history in the last few months of Asians who basically, in their mistreatment toward blacks, who basically want to try to pass for being white, being Caucasian, you know. And see, it's also a reference in the sisters too. The sisters need to stop going to these hair stores that basically owned by the Asian dudes. Like, look how the Asian dude, how he put a sister in a headlock, accusing them of stealing, which they weren't. Same thing that happened at another gala. You know, but see, a lot of them jokers, they cowards anyway. See, they'll go ahead, like, they ain't no different than the racist crackers. They're cowards. They'll go ahead and attack a woman or a child and stuff like that. Or, you know, and see, because they know moist-ass dudes like John Ridley ain't gonna stand up. Instead, he's too busy lying in bed with the enemy, with the white supremacist mindset. And then now he's trying to do just like some of those textbooks down there in Texas. You trying to rewrite history by excluding us out. Just like when he did that 12 Years a Slave. Notice how that movie won so many accolades and won so many awards. It's because of motherfuckers like him. John Ridley, if I'm gonna be honest with you, he's dangerous. He's about as dangerous as Miss Sugar Pants Lee Daniels. Because the fact of the matter that he has a platform and he's using that to try to go ahead and wipe us out of history like that. Because see, not excluding black women in that part during the 1970 civil rights movement, the Black Panthers. This show, Gorilla, don't watch it. Boycott that bullshit. Boycott Showtime. If you got Showtime on your cable subscription, boycott it. Tell them, call them up. Call your cable provider up. Tell them, man, we ain't watching that shit. Period. John Ridley, man, you ain't shit, man. You's a coon. Period.